Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Raeann, but you can call me Ray. Today's video is super exciting because I'm so inspired by this color story of this palette that I couldn't wait to do more looks with it. So this is the new Sugarpill palette. I don't know why I always have to look at it to figure out what it's called, but let's see if I can remember this time. So it is the Capsule Collection Pink Edition palette. Right? Yes. So this is the palette here. I just posted a video on this palette a couple days ago, but I wanted to do another video with it doing 3 different looks. So I'll show you guys really quick. The palette's a little dirty right now, but this is the inside of the palette if you haven't seen it yet. The outside, super cute. I love this packaging. Also on the back, I love that you can see everything and everything is transparent. I adore just this packaging. It's just so cool, so unique. I love it. Anyways, today's video isn't really going to be a review, but I will kind of go over some things like as I'm doing the looks or after the looks, if it's a shade that I haven't used yet and all of that stuff. But today's video will be a 3 looks using this palette, so if you want to see this look and the other 2 looks, then go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the first look. So I wanted to do a very soft, like, pink look. I wanted to do it a little blown out and possibly just the shimmer shade, but I did add a little bit more to it. Decided to make it a little more like contrasty, I guess. I feel like I like saying that a lot, like contrasty. That really just shows that I'm like a photographer. I don't know how else, like if it didn't show in my personality before, I feel like the amount of times that I say that word, definitely it's just like you're a photographer. So this is the look that we have so far, just a lighter like pink funness. Descriptors, I don't know, this is it. Wow, that was like a great face. I made it in my last video too. I'm just like, what am I doing with my face? Anyways, I did decide to do a liner with like a liquid lip too, so I thought that was a nice addition, just something like lighter and fun. So let's go ahead and get into this. So I actually used the blush shade, which is this bigger pan right here, and that is the shade Melody. Okay, so this is kind of how I started everything. Then I'm going to go into this other pink shade, which is Glory. So this one right here. I just love the packaging on this, by the way. Like, I'm sure I said that in my first video using this palette, but this palette, like just the design of it is just really unique. Very cool. Just the whole structure of it. Like, one, you have the shape of it, but the see-through like component basically is just really cool. Okay, so that's basically how I started this look. To be honest, this look is really simple, but you know, every once in a while we like something simple. So I'm going to take a little bit of my glitter glue, and like I did in my first video, so if you guys haven't seen it, I did actually do a first impressions using this palette, and I did one look and then I did swatches before I did the look. So in that video I used a little bit of glitter glue and glitter primer. Whenever I think of glitter glue, like whenever I say that, I literally think of like the glitter glue that you used as a kid when you're like decorating the little pasta frames. Where was I going? I honestly don't even know. So my last look, I did that. I kind of did like a faux cut crease with it. We're kind of doing the same thing here, where we're putting the primer where we would do a cut crease, but this is going to be a little bit softer and blown out because the tones of all of these eyeshadows aren't, they're all pretty close basically. They're all like a lighter sort of pink. I was going to use that darker purple shade, but I decided not to and just keep this really light and very spring-like kind of. Okay, so, and then the one thing I actually forgot, I didn't originally do this in the first time that I did this look, but I want to take a little bit of that shade I started out with, So Melody, and just kind of add more of it onto the lid. I realized I didn't want to take the shimmer out quite that far. So now we're going to take that shimmer shade. So the one we're going to use is Dream State. So this shade right here. And we're just going to pat that where we have the primer. And I did feel like applying this a little bit with your finger also kind of just helped a little bit more. Then I also took a tiny bit of Supernova, so this shade right here. Why I'm holding it like this, I don't know. But just took a tiny bit of that shade towards the middle and outer part. And then just try to layer them in together. So trying to give this as much structure as I can. I don't think I put the primer up as far as I did last time. Okay, so that's basically it. And then for the inner corner, we're just going to use that iridescent shade Supernova and also Dream State. We're kind of building them up together. So I started with Supernova first. Oh, I totally used way more on this side, so we're just going to add more here. And then a tiny bit of Dream State. And then also Supernova under, oh my god, my brush is falling apart. This is totally the brush, one of the brushes that I was like, yeah, this thing is falling apart. I probably should throw it away. Did I throw it away? Absolutely not. I totally need new brushes. Okay, so that is looking fairly good. Let's go ahead and just show you guys. So I did use a little bit of Melody underneath my eye, so just a tiny bit. This like neon pink shade, by the way, just reminds me of when I was trying to be a scene kid in high school. Like, especially when you smear it underneath your eyes. Okay, and then a tiny bit of Glory. I saw a little ham on this eye. I feel like I always do for some reason. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the liner part. I used one of the new Lime Crime shades. Oh my god, I just got primer everywhere. The Lime Crime shade in Neptune. So this right here. I just took a like smaller eyeliner brush and just added that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and finish up the rest of my makeup. And then I'll be back to show you guys what I got. Okay, so this is the finished look. Oh my god, I need to get a little bit closer. Alright, so this is it. I know I've said this like a million times, but I really do appreciate a little like liquid lip eyeliner moment. Especially when the liner and the lips match, like whenever you match them together, I'm just a sucker for it. I don't know. Every once in a while I forget that like using a liquid lip for eyeliner is a thing. And then I'm like, you know what? This look like it just needs a little bit more. And then I think of the liquid lip and I'm like, am I a genius? Anyways, this is the finished first look. I will talk about the shades a little bit. This isn't going to be a full review or anything, but because I am doing 3 looks and I did the previous video and I didn't use all of the shades, I'm going to talk about the ones that I used this time that I didn't use last time. So I used Melody and also Dream State in this look, and I didn't use those last time. I did use Supernova last time, so I won't really talk about that one. But the other two shades, basically the blush shade and the shimmer shade, I felt like they worked really nicely. I felt like the blush worked well as an eyeshadow. I did try to do it as a blush for my previous look. I don't think I included it in the video, but I didn't like it. It just wasn't the right shade for me. Just a little too bright, like brighter than what I'm used to. So I definitely would use it as an eyeshadow and not a blush. But as an eyeshadow, I actually felt like it performed pretty well. For the Dream State shade, I also feel like that performed pretty well. I did have a decent amount of fallout. It was a little kind of chunky and kind of fell out just a tiny bit. But other than that, I mean, that doesn't really bother me. I did feel like it stayed true to the color that I thought it would be, so you know, that's always a good thing. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about those two shades. Let's go ahead and get into the second look. Okay, so this is the look that we're going for now. I feel like it is very similar to the style of the first one, but I really needed to do like a monochromatic green look with this palette. Like I literally had to. There was no way I wasn't going to, so yeah. Hopefully you guys are cool with it, because I actually really love this. When I swatched that, this shade is called Radiate, the neon green like matte shade. Anyways, when I swatched that, I was just so amazed. It's like I needed to use that. And I totally was going to use it in the first video and I didn't. So here we are. This look is fairly simple, not too many steps in here. So let's go ahead and start with Radiate. So it is this shade right here. And actually, just since we're here, this look is literally just this shade Radiate. So that'll be our crease shade. This will be our lid shade, and this is going to be underneath the crease. Not underneath the crease. Oh my god. This will be our shade. I hope you guys understood that. Let's go ahead and get into it. So yeah, just these two shades, and I'm going to use a highlight shade, probably just like an actual highlight, just because I kind of want something a little golden. I put a little bit of the shimmer shade like in the inner corner, but not that much. So if we want a little bit more in the inner corner, then I'll add whatever highlight I use on my face, which most likely is going to be this e.l.f. one that's right in front of me. Okay, so from here, I'm going to take a little bit of my glitter primer before we put on the shimmer shade. Kind of wanted to give a kind of loose effect of a cut crease. Obviously, we're not... When you're doing like a monochromatic look, I feel like if it's just two shades, it's a little harder to do like a full effect of a cut crease or a faux cut crease, just because there's really not much depth into it, and I feel like those require a little more depth, but I feel like this actually looks pretty good. Anyways, so just like the other look, just taking the primer and putting it in the same area that we normally end up doing the cut crease. Also trying to keep the same shape that we would normally have. So from there, going into that shimmer shade that I showed you guys earlier, and that's the shade Ember. I'm gonna just take a little bit on my finger as well. And then I totally forgot to kind of extend that matte shade, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. I legit really need to either throw this brush away or glue it back together. Okay. this is about it. I am gonna take that matte shade and just run it under my eye. I'm loving this color, by the way. Also, this is totally random, but I just used one of those Instagram filters where it like, I don't know, it's just like the super edited filters that do like the faux freckles and like cutesy stuff. But this filter changed your eye color. So I had one brown eye and one green eye, and I will say, one, I'm jealous of anyone who has green or blue eye. Not brown, wow. I meant green and blue. So one eye was green and one eye was blue. One, I'm jealous of anyone who has green or blue eyes. I always wanted green eyes when I was growing up. Like, I have brown eyes, but I always wanted green eyes. Anyways, not only am I jealous of people with those eyes, because they're just so beautiful. I mean, brown eyes are beautiful too, but like, I just always was envious of those with the lighter colored eyes. I'm even more envious of those who have the two different colors. Like, that is so cool. Anyways, that's a random tangent. That's what I'm good for though. So, this color reminds me of Beetlejuice. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this look, the rest of my face, all of that. I don't think I'm gonna do like a winged black eyeliner, but I do think that would look really pretty with this look. I might pop on some lashes and call it a look. So I will finish everything up and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the finished look. So I feel like I look like a doll with these eyelashes and with the like white waterline like eyeliner. I definitely feel like I look like a little doll. Not a bad thing necessarily, really, it's not. I don't know, this look is kind of cool. I really like the color. I really like the neon color of both the matte and also the shimmer shade. I just think it's beautiful. I just love this color. I can't get over it. I think it's just a beautiful color in general, and I just love how good the two shades look together. They're not like the same shade necessarily, but I love the combination of the two of them. I just can't get over it. I love it. It's beautiful. I can see myself using this like neon green look text message. I can see myself using this neon green look though more than just for this video. Like, even just doing like a neon green like waterline too. Also think that would look really pretty. I totally forgot I didn't do an inner corner highlight. My bad. But I mean, I really don't even think it needs it because this is just so vibrant and just in your face, and I love it. So I didn't use either of these shades in the other video that I did. I didn't really have any problems with these shades. I did feel like the matte shade was kind of clinging in certain areas, but again, it really could be whatever I used to prime. But I did feel like everything kind of blended out once you worked with it a little bit. The shimmer shades are super pretty. They are a little kind of, this one specifically, and also the other shade that I used. This actually, yeah, so all of the shimmers that I've used so far, and probably all of them just in this palette, I'm gonna assume at least, are a little more foiled, a little more heavy, and maybe I'm just using too much, but they do give you fallout, and this shade felt like it was a little bit better to kind of smooth out with your fingers, because it felt like if I had too much on my brush, it was just very like foiled and kind of falling off of my eyes, if that makes sense. But overall, I feel like everything so far is pretty good. I mean, there are little things to talk about, but nothing that I don't think that you couldn't work with, you know? Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the third look. Okay, so this is the very subtle lavendery, lilac-y, whatever you want to call it, look we're going for. Why do I always go like this? This is it. I might actually like do a wing or something, or at least put lashes on, and I feel like this will look really pretty. I know it was like last year, and I'm sure it's still like relevant this year, but I don't know if it's like last summer or spring, like the one kind of like monochrome looks were really in, like pick one color and then kind of roll with that. So the green look that I did, that one was definitely kind of the same deal, just one color, some lashes and stuff, but I really think that look is really cool. It's really classic to me. It's really pretty, especially when you do like a bright color. So looks like we're rolling with that for this look too. So let's go ahead and get into it. We are basically just using 2 colors again. So we're going to use this shade here. So Baby Doll, we'll start with Baby Doll first. And then we'll go into this shade here, which is Supernova. It looks so weird that you can like see me through it. Okay, anyways. So we're going to just do those shades. And that's basically it. Very, very simple. I am going to add some lashes to this look. I don't know if you guys can hear the wind right now, but it is so windy out here. It's actually crazy. So we'll start with Baby Doll. I'll start with Baby Doll. And this color definitely took a little bit of building up, so I'm probably gonna cut out doing that just because it does, like, it is a very light color, so it takes a little while to kind of get it built up the most that it can. I mean, it is going to be a light color no matter what, but to try to get it to its full potential, it did take a little bit of building up. That doesn't really bother me because it felt like it, you know, other than having to build it up, I didn't really feel like there were any other issues with it. And because it is a lighter, like, matte shade, that isn't anything that's super concerning to me. I'm just trying to figure out if I want to do like a black wing or if I just want to do lashes. So I am going to add a little bit of that shade to my lid. Thought it was easier just to use my finger because I am going to use the shimmer shade, but to kind of help the shimmer shade build up, we're just going to add this on there. Not over the whole lid. I just felt like it's easier to blend out if I start the matte shade now, since I don't really have another color for it to go into. So I did kind of do the technique that I have been doing with the glitter glue. This definitely isn't a very structured look like I was doing before with the glitter glue and trying to make it look like a faux cut crease. I'm doing the same steps, but because we're not really deepening the look and we're keeping it very monochromatic, there isn't too much definition on here, but I still want to use the same technique just because I like, honestly, just because I like doing it. I feel like it still gives some structure. Okay, so from here we're gonna go into Supernova. Now, I don't know about you guys, but, and this is totally going to give away my age, sort of, kind of, but in middle school, when I first started wearing eyeshadow, I used either like gold, like just a gold shimmer shade. It was totally like a Maybelline one that I just like smeared all over my eyelids, basically. Or I also used a very light purple similar to one of these shades, like a shimmer shade, and just smeared that all over my eyelids too. So this is what this look is reminding me of. Okay, so just gonna add a little bit of Supernova into the outer or my inner corner. Don't know if I want to use the purple shade underneath my eye. Maybe I do. Let's see. Let's just take a little bit of Baby Doll and see. Do we like that? I think what I'm gonna do is just go into my bronzer. I'm just gonna take one of my bronzers and just for something under here. I also took like a fluffier brush earlier, and what I did was, I'll do it on this eye since I haven't done it yet, but I just took a little bit of my bronzer and just kind of used that to warm up the outside of the look a little bit to add a little more dimension to it. Really doesn't do too much, and you might not even be able to see it on camera, but for me I feel like it did just a little bit. So I'm gonna take a little bit of my bronzer and run it under, because I don't know, do I want to use, yeah, I don't think I necessarily want to use that lavender shade under my eyes. So alright, so I think that looks pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my makeup and I'll show you guys what everything looks like. Okay, so this is the finished look. Overall, super simple, but honestly, ever since I did that green, like more monochromatic look, I was like, I want to do one with the lavender as well. So that is what I'm doing today. Also, one of your guys' comments inspired me to do like a lavender look as well. So yeah, this is what we got on my face. I don't know. I did the white eyeliner again, and I just like always trip out whenever I see my eyes with white eyeliner and lashes because my eyes just look so gigantic. But anyways, let's go ahead and show you guys the look a little bit closer. Alright, so pretty simple. Because I am so fair, it's kind of, you know, there's not a lot of depth going on, I guess, with just the one color. But I do think it looks really pretty. The matte shade Baby Doll did seem like it needed to be built up a little bit. So there's that. I mean, that doesn't really bother me, but it's something to know. I love that Supernova shade because you can build it up and use it as like your main shimmer shade on your lid, or you could also use it as your inner corner highlight, which I also love doing. So I really love that shade. I do feel like the shimmers in this palette so far have been kind of, they've had a lot of fallout and they're a little flaky a little bit. But I could be packing on a lot too. I do tend to do that from time to time. That's kind of my thoughts on those two shades there. I just thought it would be kind of good to kind of go over the shades because a lot of them I didn't use in the first look. So it's just something to kind of recap so you guys know. But overall, I'm actually really enjoying this palette. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but you know, I feel like any cons to it is something that I feel like I personally can work with, so not super bothered by it. Overall, I really like the color story. It's really fun. It's super inspiring. I just, you know, I'm a sucker for those bright colored palettes, and I say that all the time, but it's really, it's true. Like, I'm so inspired by brighter colored looks that I just gravitate towards palettes that have those colors in it, and I love it. So far I'm liking this palette. This isn't really a full review or anything, but in case you guys wanted to know, I thought I would let you guys know. But that pretty much wraps it up for today's video. So if you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you next time.